Hi, Jasmine here from Redwood Financial, and this week's frequently asked question is: will dementia prevent us from getting a lasting power of attorney? That is a really important question, and of course, if you've just had that diagnosis of early stage dementia or Alzheimer's, it's a really scary and nervous time, and it's a common thing, of course, that people want to get their affairs in order and also make sure that they've got all of the protection that the legal documents like lasting powers of attorney give them. For those of you that don't know, lasting powers of attorney make sure that the right people can make decisions on your behalf in the event that you completely lose mental capacity. Now, what is the problem with having dementia and trying to get these documents in place? Well, being able to draft lasting power of attorney documents and also even new wills requires you having mental capacity. And we often see that solicitors, will writers, and estate planners refuse to help clients who have been given the diagnosis of dementia or Alzheimer's out of fear, and I think also just an assumption that they have lack of capacity to make those decisions. And actually, that's not how mental capacity works. And it's also not how dementia and Alzheimer's works. Even the Mental Capacity Act of 2005 now recognizes that mental capacity is something that can come and go. We can have good days and bad days. So even if it's early stage dementia or Alzheimer's, where actually you've still got full mental capacity on a daily basis, it shouldn't be a hurdle to you putting these important legal documents in place. But if actually you're well within that journey of dementia or Alzheimer's, and you've actually found your memory starting to deteriorate significantly, perhaps you're struggling with short-term memory loss, but have still got recollection of long-term memory, or perhaps you're even struggling on a day-to-day basis with both, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have lost the mental capacity in order to understand the decisions you're making and be able to give someone your wishes and instructions with regards to things like lasting powers of attorney and even new wills. It's about having the right professional who is going to compassionately work with you and assess your mental capacity state, but also come back and forth. If you're having a bad day, then today's not the right day to assess your mental capacity and to take your instructions for these legal documents. It is absolutely acceptable and even advocated within the Mental Capacity Act of 2005 that those professionals come back and reassess you on a regular basis. And if you're having a good day and you can then give your instructions with mental capacity and complete clarity about what you want to have happen, then that is absolutely fine. Often, as I say, we will help clients where perhaps they will have a struggle with their short-term memory, but they have absolute clarity on who they are, the assets that they possess, who their family and loved ones are, and who they want to be put in charge of making important decisions for them in the event that in the future they can no longer make decisions for themselves. So unfortunately, I would like to say that having dementia or Alzheimer's isn't a hurdle that's going to prevent you from having these important documents like lasting powers of attorney and even wills. But unfortunately, the case is that a lot of professionals are too afraid to advise in these areas and support clients setting up these documents and doing a proper mental health assessment. And they almost just tar everyone with the same brush. Because you've got the diagnosis, you must not have mental capacity. At Redwood, we take a very different approach in line with the Mental Capacity Act itself, which is acknowledging that as an individual, you may have good days and bad days, days when you have capacity and days when you don't. And it's about working with you to find the right balance between making sure that you've got the right level of protection in place, you understand the planning that you're putting in place, but you're being supported in making your own independent decisions. And if that means that it takes a little bit longer to get your planning in place, then that's absolutely fine. And we don't shy away from helping people with those diagnoses, and we want to make sure that you've got the right planning in place to protect you and your loved ones. So all my advice would be is that if you've got told you can't have these documents because you've got the diagnosis of dementia, don't just take that from one individual. Keep pushing back, keep working and trying to find another professional that will help you and assess you properly for your mental health and mental capacity. If you really are struggling, there are also firms that specialise in assessing your mental capacity and even providing a report to document proof that you have mental capacity, even with those diagnosis of dementia or Alzheimer's. So you can always engage those firms as well and use that to support in balance with the professional who's drafting the wills and lasting powers of attorney too. So there's lots of things that we can do to help support people that have unfortunately been given this diagnosis but still need to have this important level of planning in place. So if you have any questions about this, there's more information on our website, and we'd be delighted to have a chat and help you during this time. So that's it from me this week, and I look forward to answering more frequently asked questions next week.